Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going through some interesting times. It's hard to make videos right now because, basically every video is really about the coronavirus. I was thinking to myself, Tony, make a video that's not about the coronavirus. So I thought about it. What should I make? I was thinking of making a video about, well, I had a couple of different topics, but then I realized that seems like the only thing people really care about right now is the coronavirus. And I thought to myself, that's true. This is like one of those 9-volt batteries. It says connect correctly, do not charge or dispose of in fire. May explode or leak, do not carry loose batteries, risk of burn injury. Interesting. I once saw this study where they took 9-volt batteries and they hooked it up to people's brains and it actually made them smarter. Now you're probably thinking, oh, Tony, is this your attempt at a cute little joke? It's not, because I don't like to make cute little jokes. That's an actual study. Look it up. How crazy is that our brain is basically like a computer. Like you can overclock it. So basically, they just took a 9-volt battery, hooked it up to the brain, and the idea was to give the brain more voltage. And that actually made people smarter. You can't make something like that up. It's too ridiculous. So basically, you're 9-volt battery away from doubling your IQ. Pretty crazy, right? When people say stuff like, wow, this coronavirus is really crazy, right? I say, well, yeah, it is, but life is crazy. Existence is crazy, right? So in a way, it's not really that crazy or shocking, is it? I don't like, see these t-shirts? I don't like when they make the neck too loose. What happens is that you wash them one time and then like the neck is just too loose and it starts hanging like this. That's not a good look. Look at that. What is that? Now I know we have a pandemic and people are dying and this is a pretty superficial thing. This is like first world problems, but what is this? What kind of neckline is this? I mean, what is this? What kind of shirt? It's a brand new shirt. What is this? I washed it one time. They need to like make this elastic part a little bit stronger so it doesn't sag down like that. I mean, I'm so sick and tired of this crap. These are actually my favorite videos to make. The videos that are just this pointless. I don't know what it is. I've always liked them. I think that's why I always liked Seinfeld, the show. I mean, I know that's a little bit dated now. I wonder if people still watch Seinfeld. Is Seinfeld still a popular sitcom? Is it still a popular show, or does the younger generation not really watch it? I don't know. But apparently it was a show about nothing. Yeah, nothing is nice. You hit record and you just make sounds with your mouth. Talk. Doesn't have to be about anything. Most people get awkward during these moments, but I find it beautiful. Like when people talk to somebody and they're like, I don't like those quiet, awkward moments. But Nothing wrong with a little silence. Oh, you're still here. That's awkward. So what's been going on in the news lately? I mean, other than Corona, what's going on in the world? Is anything going on in the world other than Corona? Let me think. Let me think if there's been anything interesting going on in the world other than Corona. Well, I'm really looking forward to watching the Tony and Khabib fight, UFC, but I'm not sure if it's going to go down. Now, I might have just lost you there because I know a lot of people are not interested in the UFC, martial arts fighting, but that Tony Khabib fight, that's the fight that we all want to see, which is weird because I actually don't want to see fight. I actually don't like seeing people fight. I'm very anti-violence, but I really like the art of it. Sometimes I debate if I should just stop watching because I actually really don't like the violence. I don't like fighting. But I really like a good matchup. Now, if you're into the UFC at all, you really want to see that fight. Tony and Khabib. Is it going to happen? I don't know. But I'll stop talking about the UFC because I think only 1% or maybe 0.001% of the population is actually interested in the UFC. So, yeah, so what else is going on in the news? I honestly think other than this pandemic, that Tony and Khabib fight is basically the only real interesting thing. Sports are dead. TV and entertainment, what's going on? Ozark is coming back March 27th. I'm looking forward to that. It's a pretty good show. I've been watching Better Call Saul, another really great show. If I hooked this 9-volt battery up to my brain, I wonder if that would increase my subscriber count. Like if my videos would become more interesting. I have the feeling that if I hook this up to my brain, my videos would become really like clickbaity. Because if I hook this up to my brain, I think I'd finally realize that you got to make your videos more interesting, clickbaity, and have some, well, first of all, have some editing in the videos, fast transitions. Don't bore people, keep it going fast. Yeah, although I do have 260 subscribers, which is pretty good. This battery says it's assembled in the USA. Speaking of assembled in the USA, this pandemic, what it's really taught us, if we weren't aware of it already, is how everything is produced in China. So see, that says assembled in the USA, but most likely probably has parts that were made in China. And what's really crazy is that not just China, but like the Canada and the United States, so much of what we have is produced somewhere else, which is so crazy. It's even crazier than this loose shirt that keeps sagging like this. This shirt is, I think it's made in Bangladesh or someplace like that. I forget. I saw the tag for it, something like that. But the point is, nothing against people in Bangladesh or wherever this shirt was made, but like, what is this? Right? So the point is, this shirt really should be made in Canada. There's no need for us to import shirts from Bangladesh or any other country. No offense to any other country. Every country's great. We're all in this together, but countries should make their own products more often. Apparently, I read a stat that like 90% of all medicines are made in China. Just so during these sort of times where everyone's quarantined and we can't produce products, we're stuck not being able to have anything because we don't produce it ourselves. It's really weird I mean, obviously it all goes back to money, and we don't want to get into that again because, again, it's another downer video about money and then, the elite, and then like how the people up top just make money off the people at the bottom, and how the greed and corruption, and how like to save a couple of pennies, or like, let's move this whole operation to China. We save some money. The whole middle class in North America dies out, but hey, a couple of people became millionaires or billionaires. Yeah, that's a downer. We don't need to get into that again. I have a lot of videos on that kind of stuff, and it actually depresses me to think about that stuff too much. Just the whole idea that like basically the whole world is like that, and it's just really about money. Everything's always about money. How can we save $1 and fuck everybody over? But one thing I will say that's nice is that there's a few people in this world who are at the top who make these choices. We have cars manufactured in North America, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, let's make them in China, save some money, and then ruin the middle class. So there's always those people up top, right? Those are the people doing that. But the 99%, like the people that are like the regular folks, right? Who just work their regular jobs and they live paycheck to paycheck. All the people that are basically really screwed over now because they can't pay their rent. I have to say, the general population, they're good people. And it's, I really do believe that even though this world is really run by nothing but money and corruption, I really do think that human beings at the core are good people. They're loving and they're good and they're caring. It's just that, that saying, like one bad apple ruins everything. There could be 100 people getting along together, doing well, cooperating, helping each other out, and there's always going to be the one person in a group that are like, well, you know what? I can make more than you guys. I can do this, and they start playing little games and manipulation and tricks, and that's how it fucks everything up, right? But people are generally good. They really are. It's ironic because you would think that if like an alien race came down on Earth and tried to describe people, they would probably describe us as barbaric, brutal people, right? Because we go to wars, we kill each other, we manipulate through power and greed. It seems like we're very corrupt and messed up. But I honestly truly think that's just a very small portion of humans. I think most human beings have good intentions and they're caring, but it's just like those few bad apples. And the reason, superficially, when you observe the earth, the reason it looks so bad is because those few bad apples, they're the ones that control most of the stuff. They're the 1%ers that make these decisions, like, hey, let's move our entire factory to China so we lose the entire middle class, but hey, we cash out, we make some money. Or like people who convince us to go to war. Yeah, we really need to go to war with this country, but it's really all about money and profit, but we're made to believe that it's about keeping our dignity and freedom, all that bullshit. But I think most people are decent, nice, caring people. And during these sort of times of crisis, you really notice it because most people are very nice, helpful. And so what was I even talking about? I forget. It doesn't even matter. I'm basically making this video because I couldn't think of anything to make a video on. Because like I said, if I start talking about headphones now or review like some whatever, no one really cares right now at this moment in time. But I had nothing to make a video on, and I wanted to make a video, so I thought, I'm going to do what I do best, which is press record and talk about nothing, just nonsense, and just make noise. I'm really good at doing this. Just, you know, videos with zero content and zero quality, which probably explains my 260 subscriber count. I've been on YouTube for 2 years, 3 years, I don't even know, I forget. So that's 260 subscribers. Probably the slowest growing channel on YouTube, but I don't mind. I figure well, I made a video a long time ago saying that if I ever got to 10,000 subscribers, I'd probably retire, because apparently the hardest thing to do is get to 10,000 subscribers. Fun times. So, well, my energy is really dying out. This might be the end of the video. Well, so everyone's in quarantine, where at least a lot of the stores are closed, and I mean, we can go out right now, but I had just recently joined a gym because they have a basketball court, and I like basketball, and but what I've been doing lately is just going on extremely long walks in parks. I mean, I've been doing that for a couple of years, but I guess now even more, since that's really my only form of exercise. And my longest walk in the park has been 16 kilometers. And this summer, I want to break 20 kilometers. I don't know how much that is in miles, but it doesn't matter, because no one should use miles. No one should use inches, and no one should use miles. Inches is the worst form of measurement. What's that? Well, what the size of that? It's 3/9 of an inch. 7/3 of it. It's 9/10 of an. What is this with the inches? Enough. I think if this pandemic has taught us anything, is to stop using inches as a form of measurement. And miles. So yeah, I've walked 16 kilometers. I don't know how much it is in miles, but it's pretty decent. But I want to break 20 kilometers. That's not bad. All right? It's not bad at all. So as a challenge to everybody out there, I would say, see how long you can walk in a park. Try to break 20 kilometers. And that's it. So, just look at this neck. Can you believe that? Unbelievable. That's it. Have a good day, guys. Bye.